Hey Nailer fans, it's DJ Avicella and it's time for another edition of our weekly report as we enter the final 2 weeks of the 2018-19 ECHL season. Let's first look back at last week, and it started a little bit tough for the Nailers, but as I've told you before, the Cincinnati Cyclones, one of the best teams in the ECHL. In fact, Cincinnati's 4-1 win on Wednesday night made the Cyclones the second team in the ECHL this season to lock up a division title, as they will be number 1 in the Central Division. But things got great on Friday night at home when the Nailers battled the Indy Fuel. An exciting finish. It was 2-2 in the third period. Michael Phillips snaps the tie on the power play, and then Cedric Lacroix becomes the first Wheeling player since 2003 to score 20 goals and get 200 penalty minutes in the same season. He added insurance, helping the cause for Jordan Ruby, who backstopped the victory as the Nailers took down the Fuel 5-2 at Westbanco Arena. Saturday was a big opportunity. Unfortunately, the Nailers fell short. They had a chance to close within 2 points of the final playoff spot in the division, but the Kalamazoo Wings got a Tanner Sorensen breakaway goal early in the third period to break a 2-2 tie there and go on to the 3-2 home win. So the Nailers head into the final 2 weeks 6 points back of Kalamazoo for that final playoff spot in the Central Division. They'll play 3 games in 3 days this week, starting off on Friday night. At home, 7:05 against the Fort Wayne Comets. If you like goals, that's been a season series for you. It's deadlocked at 3, and the teams have combined to light the lamp 54 times in those 6 contests. Then on Saturday, the Nailers will look for the season series W against the Reading Royals on the road at 7 o'clock. Wheeling has won 4 of the first 7 against its longtime rival. And then Sunday, the Nailers return home a big one against the Kalamazoo Wings. They look to beat them for the first time this season and try and close that gap in the race for the playoffs. Let's look at the Central Division standings. You have Fort Wayne, who is continuing to pull a little bit away in that third position with 74 points. Although Kalamazoo right in its rearview mirror with 72 in 4th, then Indy at 68 in 5th, and the Nailers in 6th with 66. Plenty of head-to-head matchups and key Central Division games on the schedule this week. 3 more teams last week in the rest of the ECHL punching their playoff tickets. First of all, the Newfoundland Growlers, one of the brand new teams in the ECHL this season, following in the footsteps of Worcester last year by being a first-year team to qualify for the dance. Then Toledo, 7th time in 10 years that the Walleye have qualified for the Kelly Cup playoffs. And finally, Utah becomes the 3rd team already from the Mountain Division to qualify for postseason play. So we'll head into next week's weekly report. Probably a bunch more clinching scenarios, and we'll see how the Nailers stack up going into the final 3 games of 2018-19, hoping to make that final push for the playoffs themselves. I'm DJ Avicella, and this has been another edition of our weekly report.